First this evening, let's begin by queering up breaking news. HHS Secretary Becerra comes to Pridelines to celebrate LGBTQ plus pride and talk to Queer News tonight. 2024 continues to be an amazing year for Pridelines. This year, they reopened their vitally important LGBTQ plus community center in Miami and Liberty City. They expanded their youth and health services at the center and new basic community necessities, like a place where those in need can wash clothes or simply just get a shower. Yesterday, in honor of June Pride Month, Health and Human Services Cabinet Secretary Xavier Becerra visited Pridelines Community Center. His visit was drawing attention to the vital role community organizations play in supporting health, mental health, and other LGBTQ plus needs. His first-hour visit included talking to staff and supporters and a press conference. A highlight was his participation in a private 12-step meeting that was occurring. Becerra said, quote, "Pridelines represent the best of this community, and we want you to know that the Biden administration is here to support you," end quote. Queer News Tonight anchor Al Ferguson asked Secretary Becerra several questions. Top of the list was HHS and President Biden implementing anti-discrimination health measures through executive order, and that many states have advised their healthcare and educational institutions to ignore those federal rules to provide access to LGBTQ plus healthcare. Becerra was firm that the states must follow the federal guidelines. Ferguson also discussed the more than 500 anti-LGBTQ laws introduced in the last year, largely targeting the trans community. He asked about Becerra's reaction to those actions and while having the first ever trans assistant secretary of HHS with Dr. Admiral Rachel Levine. Becerra talked about the importance of representation in government and how honored the Biden administration was to have Levine.
Rachel Levine has, let's put it this way, Admiral Rachel Levine, Dr. Rachel Levine, is an accomplished American in her own right. Everything she has done has been under that Hippocratic oath as a physician, but also in helping preserve life and let others thrive. And so to have her as our Assistant Secretary for Health at the Department of Health and Human Services has been a real honor for us. She is the first trans Assistant Secretary of Health, but she's, again, as I said, accomplished in her own right, and we are fortunate to have such a professional working at the highest levels of the Department of Health and Human Services. And here I have to say, hats off to President Joe Biden for once again making sure that his administration reflects America.
You know, Pridelines has had such an incredible year. You know, their new ED, Edward Summers, he's part of this table very often. He's only been there about 8 months, folks, and he's done so much in those 8 months, you know, and he lives, breathes, and poops this, okay, honestly. You know, he was so excited a couple months back because they were installing a shower at Pridelines, right? Something that we take for granted, right? Something that's so accessible to us, right? But there's a lot of people who are home insufficient, and they, you know, need places like Pridelines that offer a safe space. And then just having the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services at Pridelines shows us as a community that we're seen, right? I mean, that's how you show us that the Biden and Harris administration are here for us, that they see us, that they see the plight, they see the crap that we're going through and that we're fighting through, and that they see us. So I thought this was a wonderful thing for Mr. Becerra to go to Pridelines yesterday.
So, right. So it's not just that he was there, but he was also talking about how representation matters. And so it's not just, hey, we have a trans person who is serving as as second in command. Yeah. But I'm also here as well, you know, to kind of show you, I mean, not that he's gay, but to show you that the administration is interested and involved and not just going to say, oh, the gays love me.
Low-key, him bringing up the trans woman was like when a white person's like, see, I got a black friend, so like I'm down with it. I'm happy.
That was Al who asked it. That was not first. That was not Becerra. I know Al well enough to know. Me. I gotta ask this question. You know, so he's gonna get himself in.
I'm glad I didn't catch her name, but I'm happy that she got a moment of recognition. I'm happy that she's a part of the organization. I'm happy that she's acknowledged. But look, I just couldn't hold that back. It was like we have trans women over here, right? We got everything. Look at us. Right. We're with the times.
You know, one of the things that came out in the talk, and I know that Al had mentioned it, was about an executive order. And while I think those are important, we have to recognize executive orders only last while the president's in office.
That's right.
Yeah.
Vote, people.
Vote. Register to vote. And if you're usually voting from home, check that out as well, because they're also not allowing a lot of the voting online anymore, right? The voter, what do you call that? Absentee.
Absentee ballot.
Absentee.